Share the room actually.
Okay, how do we go by start?
Already started.
And we should be able to open the
Link?
yeah, because it's
More. Share. No, share is the screen share. Take the participants. Copy invite. Copy invited and the passport effect. You'll have to take it.
Just open up this link from all right. No, do we
Lots we have we told the people, no?
All players should be there.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Vivek is multitasking guy, so.
the issue with multitasking, the brain will get fried. You will also use. Now we have enough to do. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have enough to run.
You can start.
Gender relation.
അന്ന് അവധിയായിരുന്നു അതെ.
When did we start? I haven't seen you. Judge for one of the
dedication. Yeah, this is dedication. Passion. Now you have to send this picture and play take that quick photo and then we'll start. The photo? Yeah, we'll take. Well, not now.
All good, sir.
Everything's okay.
Yes, yes.
You will be again Toastmaster of the day.
Not today.
I'm going to recover.
Right now, 1 hour.
I have a speech for I need your voice.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. A warm welcome to WMC Toastmaster community. Can I request everyone to sit in the? Yes. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, our Toastmasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Few reminders before we get started. Please don't forget to mark your attendance. The link will be shared in our WhatsApp group. Please refrain from discussing topics related to sex, politics, or religion. Kindly ensure your mobile phones are switched to silent mode to avoid any disruptions. Now, picturize this. You are at a casino. The heart racing, palms sweating, and just as the wheel spins, jackpot! Today we are on the edge of something exciting, a meeting that's sure to hit that jackpot. That electric moment where everything aligns, just like our meeting today. We are about to hit the Toastmasters jackpot, and the person spinning the wheel of knowledge today is none other than all of us. All of us. Because we don't know who will hit the jackpot. So, without any further ado, let's welcome the person who makes sure we all hit the jackpot in our educational journey, the one who ensures we leave here richer with skills and experience. Our President, Toastmaster Surabila Bakali.
I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages, and hence, two roads diverged in a wood. And I took the one less traveled by, and that made all the difference. Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy and privileged to acknowledge the presence of guests here. And it would be lovely if you can introduce yourself, and we look forward to hear from you. Can we begin the introduction?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name is Dakshin Pradeep and I'm a member of Young Level Toastmasters Club. I'm also the club group director for Media Group, and I was invited by Nidhi to attend the meeting. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nathan Krasta, son of Govind Krasta. I was the former president of the WMC Cavaliers Club for the year 2023. I am currently studying in the UK, pursuing law at the moment. And I'm here because I was invited back to this meeting, and I'm excited to see some old faces, many new faces actually. My God, I'm really proud of this one. Let's see you all.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually asked it.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am C.A. Walker, and I am part of ICAP Toastmasters Club, currently serving as the VP Education. This is my second time at WMC. Toastmaster Owen is a friend, and he was generous enough to invite me. Very happy to attend today's meeting. Looking forward to the jackpot. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Tekinder Singh. You can call me Shami as well, Shami Kapoor. Like a famous actor. And I'm invited by the Norman Das from BK Khanum, working with him. So I heard lots of about Toastmasters. I'm here to teach you kind what's happening here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Shaman. And if we have to move according to the routine, the next event was the president to call for the VP education to check if the agenda is right and for the agenda adoption. But we don't have any today. Our agenda preparation and agenda adoption will be happening parallelly. So we want all of you to join our hands together to pick the lot and select the role players. I have a bowl with me. Any one of you can take the privilege of taking the lot. So I will not be the villain. Any one of you can be the villain. So Owen, do we have a volunteer here? No, first it goes like we first select the role, and so if it is TMOD, that will be announced first, and the name will go for the TMOD. So we yeah. So yeah, anyone. So we are going for the TMOD role now.
Okay. Bidding.
We should not have music. And then we'll go for general evaluator. Yeah, it's TMOD, please. General evaluator. All right, now we have the top table topic master. Yeah, please. Maybe Ashish with your colorful costume.
More than me, he's
Dr. Saji will be there.
So what? Timer, accountant?
No,
Table topic master.
Three giants.
Who wants to become table topic master?
Yeah, no, we have no notice. It's
Sorry, very sorry. Next time. But this time it is Owen.
So next three, our counter, timer, and grammarian. We'll go for the our counter first.
With me?
No, it is Siddhartha.
Siddharth, account.
And we have the timer now.
Vicky. You are the timer.
Timer, you can come here to get the device.
And now the grammarian. Grammarian.
Yeah, the timer has to see, so let him sit here. Or the
Dr. Saji, you are grammarian. So please come forward. Pick up the
Yeah,
next
yeah, sure. Next is two evaluators.
yes.
So it's just two more lucky names.
Here.
Pray for it.
Okay. Let's sit next to the dawn.
First lucky person is Don.
So he will be evaluated.
One mota and another mota.
Save the memes.
One more evaluator.
Second luckiest is
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. So now can we adopt the agenda?
Can you just repeat once again so that
We have,
If anybody wants to swap their roles, the option is there.
yeah. I think we will have an option for TMOD role.
Yeah.
If we have new volunteers for TMOD and say Nidhi.
No, why should?
I
No, she will not make offer. She will pay 100.
I'm sorry.
What?
I don't know.
Dr. Saji will be the TM Modi?
I would change different.
You could have done this earlier. No, she would have fixed it.
Vicky will take general contribution. Somebody has to take that. And you pick up a time, yeah, no problem. And, who's the team, is it you taking or Saji? Who's taking? He wants to take it, then you take it.
When you know, it will be like.
Oh, you're my man, I'll share it.
Yeah,
But I have to do it once.
okay,
So I'm gonna.
No.
no,
Okay,
Let's,
so
let's start with the who's fixed. Sitara is fixed, right?
yes.
Okay, good.
Account,
there are switched from accountant to, sorry.
accountant, she was the accountant. She is the accountant.
She wanted to have something different.
She wanted you more.
She wanted. So that you will not get, okay, then take it, I am giving it, take it.
Purpose is lost. We'll switch, switch on to the initial one.
Just go back to the original, you know, that's. Just go back to the original.
Here would be change, rest of the roles will stick to the,
Okay, so who's the TM Modi now?
TM Modi is
Nathan? Okay, and general evaluator is
Vicky.
Vicky. PTM was Owen. Timer is Nidhi? Yeah. Accountant is Dr. Sitara, grammarian is Dr. Seth. And evaluators are Dawn and Yash. So can we adopt the agenda now?
At least now.
Please,
Geeta is time.
Timer is not Niti.
Timer is.
Geeta is time.
Sita is the timer.
No, if you are okay with that.
No.
No, why is she that? It's hardly done. She's having almost so many roles like that's what I'm.
actually, Nidhi wanted to be the timer of this meeting since the beginning. So if she can be given the timer.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Geeta. Yeah, because you are already having so many roles.
Thank you so much. So with this agenda, we are moving forward.
Is the TMOD clear of all the roles?
Yes,
No, I mean the other role players.
yes.
Yeah? Okay, good.
They had a side deal already.
Maybe. Okay, so we have received apologies from few of our members, BTM Thureya, BTM Lekha, Toastmaster Sukumar, Toastmaster Murali, Toastmaster Ponnambaram, Toastmaster Ganapati, Toastmaster Manoj, Toastmaster Prabodha, Toastmaster Anita, Toastmaster Priyanka. I think there's a list counts to more people than who are actually present here. All right. Life is a tapestry woven with both unexpected and expected. But we may plan our days meticulously, setting our goals and aiming to achieve it every time. But it's often these unforeseen things that happen in our life that makes life more colorful and exciting. In 326 BC, Alexander the Great, he found himself in the banks of Hydaspes River fighting against the great Indian king Porus. Porus had actually sent his elephants as a guard against Alexander the Great crossing the river. But Alexander didn't wait for any army or more force to join him to cross the river. He took immediate action and started crossing the river, even though the river was deep and the current was high. And it was his quick decision that resulted in conquering the king Porus and establishing his establishing his empireship in India. Life is full of unexpected things, and we should always be ready to face this uncertainty rather than crave for predictability in life. And that is the beauty of it. In Toastmasters, this spontaneity or unpredictability is always celebrated, at least in the table topic session. But this time it was deliberately introduced in this maybe I think I should mention about this because there was a lot of homogeneity happening in our meetings. Many roles are being taken up by similar people every time that this heterogeneity was not happening. And so this was a deliberate effort from our side so that everyone take up every roles and that monotony is breaking. So that was a gentle, humble try from our side this time. But then again, very few people actually turned up today. But then we are actually going good with a lot of guests also participating, and I'm sure we are going to have a wonderful meeting here.
Can I ask something?
Yes,
Whose brainchild is this?
it was actually Vivek's,
Oh,
but it was actually Vivek's. But then I should also get a Kit Kat from you.
So one Kit Kat to Vivek and one Kit Kat to you.
Thank you so much.
Excellent idea.
No, I already mentioned it was always scapegoat. Was scapegoat. But then we had our doubts and securities were definitely there, but then we decided to move on as a team and so far so good. And let us thank Raj J. Especially the founder for creating this incredible platform for all of us to excel and grow. Yeah, so let's not fear uncertainty. Today we are actually moving without any safety nets, no pre-planned roles. Everything is going to be spontaneous. So let's celebrate this spontaneity. Let's celebrate this unexpectedness in life. Looking forward to have a wonderful meeting. Welcoming you all again. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
No, wait. I have to come in. My address is there.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you to wait. Since we don't have the agenda to follow, I didn't take a copy of agenda.
very kind.
Yeah. Before we move on before I hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, let me invite Toastmaster Owen Krasta for the Area 14 Director address.
Good afternoon. Just to brief our guests and new members, today, even though I'm a member of this particular club, I'm also having another responsibility being the area director for this particular area where our club belongs, that is area 14. So I'm here as a official visit as area director, and my role is as well to evaluate the meeting and how the meeting is going on, and then I have to upload my report as well into the district and the Toastmasters site, and then I have to provide so that I complete my area visit as well as I'll send feedback to the president and deep education as well that report goes. Okay, and just to give an idea, this area 14 got 4 clubs and three are being 2 or 3 are closed clubs, 2 are corporate clubs, that's Bapco Gas and Bapco Refineries. These 2 clubs are corporate clubs, closed clubs, and 1 Filipino club as well. That's again a Filipino community club. It's only for Filipino communities. And we are the only open club in the area. This is just to brief about the area director role. And I would like to thank, because I'm here back in this particular club, for giving me all these opportunities and helping me out as well, and to take up this particular role. I would like to thank 4 people of this club. All the 4 are missing today here. Dr. Babu and Toastmaster President of this club, Toastmaster Prabodha, and Toastmaster Sukumar and Toastmaster Abdul Rahim. All these 4 people, without their efforts, I would have taken up this role. And also, one thing I would like to highlight is we being a WMC Toastmasters club, doing excellent as a club. But in the district, our presence is very, very minimum. And we are not there at all. Last, I guess, 5 or 6 years, Our club didn't even participate in this area director role. Most of the time, the role was taken by most of the time it was with Babco refineries for the area this, and they were taking up the role. And we had a bit of a disconnect. So I'll encourage all of you new members as well. You can take up the roles. Lots of roles available today. We had a district committee as well, and it's giving us immense opportunity to learn and understand from the leaders as well, and to become a better leader, and even you can keep continuing with your club as well. So take up the roles wherever you get opportunity. Definitely, I'll be requiring people as well for the area contest. And I'm planning to have some event at area level as well. For that as well, I'll be looking for volunteers and I'll definitely reach out to all of you. Toastmasters core values. Anybody knows what are the core values of Toastmasters? 4 core values of Toastmasters. Okay. Service, respect, then integrity and excellence. These 4 core values of Toastmasters. And Toastmasters where leaders are made. We talk about this as well. So both the things, you always talk about these 4 core values in Toastmasters. We have to understand, we have to respect each other, and service, we are giving service to the society, service to everyone. And then integrity, we have to ensure that things are put in place and we follow certain protocols and we are true to the facts. And again, we excel with all these values and reach the excellence. So far, WMC concerned, WMC has already conducted speakathon. For that, you will get a ribbon. And then 80% members renewed their membership. 28 members renewed their membership. So we will get that 80% ribbon as well. And then also the WMC submitted the club success plan and the club calendar in advance. So you will get all these 3 ribbons for this and continue doing this work. And nothing much to do for area director as well. In fact, I was just talking to district director and our division director. They mentioned, like, how come WMC is always president distinguished? We are, every time we are continuous, like this last 5 years, we are president distinguished. So continue doing that, but in the same time, I've encouraged everyone to participate at the district level as well, in the area events, division events, and be part and learn and try to learn from them. And as well, we conduct every year moments of truth. This is one point highlighted by district this year as well. Many clubs are not conducting moments of truth. So they are encouraging everyone to conduct this moments of truth. And I'd like to end my speech with Helen Keller's quote, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." Back to you, President, Madam President.
Actually, the whole core of today's meeting is spontaneity and surprises. The first part of surprise is over, but still, how this spontaneous role taking up this extempore role will be handled is still a surprise element for all of us. So looking forward, even the guests participating, taking up roles is the first time, at least for me, it is first time that is happening. So looking forward for a meeting full of surprises ahead. Now I request Toastmaster Nathan to take over.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President. Respected Toastmasters, honest guests, a very good evening to one and all. It's very funny. I've never actually been a registered Toastmaster, but I've been to so many meetings courtesy of my father that at this point, apparently, I am a Toastmaster. So thank you very much, Vice President. So today's theme is jackpot and become spontaneity and surprises. And that means that I today get to decide who I'm going to introduce and how I'm going to introduce them today. It might cause you to be on your feet today, but even cause you to wonder, if this is spontaneous, what happened to the table topics? Even a table topics master doesn't know what the table topics are. Well, nonetheless, you must continue to go on with the meeting at hand, and if maybe in this one meeting of surprise and spontaneity, we will finish on time, since the race against time too, so keep that in the theme as well, because once again, when you're at the casino, it seems like time just seems to fly. And speaking of time, we will not be going to that first. We will instead be going to our grammarian. So please introduce Dr. Saji to the table.
So, I'm a grammarian for today. As we all know, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to the language usage and any misuse of English language, as well as any outstanding codes, words, sayings. I just missed what moment that I was doing my thing. Okay, so today's meeting, the word of the day is treasure. Okay, so it's a noun, means valuable things. Can be used as a noun and as a verb also. The noun example is the house was large and full of art treasures. And the verb, my mother gave me the ring and I will treasure it always. She treasures her memory of those joyous days. His greatest treasure is his collection of records. So it can be used as a noun as well as verb. So I'll see who is using the word of the day as the maximum, and I will come with the report at the end. Over to the report.
Now, obviously, in a meeting of spontaneity and surprise, it is. Now, obviously, in a meeting full of spontaneity and surprise, it is, of course, no doubt that some of us here may, in fact, find ourselves stammering on the stage, finding ourselves missing words, making random sounds as we struggle for time. And while in most situations we can understand such a situation is obviously understandable, we can continue repeating these words, but it's all right because after all, it is a surprise and it is a meeting for a surprise and spontaneity. But of course, there is going to be someone who will make sure that every single mistake we made today, including the several ones that I've just made right now in this introduction, that will include it. Please welcome our counter, Dr. Sadala.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. Dear guests. So today we are having a new experience, a real new experience. We hear that what we see or what we have seen is beautiful, but that is unseen is enthralling. Yes, today in this meeting where everything is uncertain, we do expect, as we are almost all of us are unprepared, we do expect certain mistakes and certain repetitions. But as the person in charge of our counter, today I'm here to note these things, the repeated words like well, but, so, and also those filler words like and at the end of the meeting, I shall give a report of the repeated words and filler words to the evaluator. So let's engage in this new experience. Good luck to all.
Thank you very much, our counter of the day. All this ragging on about the Toastmasters and their timing issues does indeed come from a place of, well, I can't really say affection in this context. But nonetheless, Toastmasters must understand the value of using your words wisely and within certain time limits, because after all, attention is something that you cannot hold on for that long. Therefore, today, please join me in introducing our timer of the day, Nidhi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. In today's jackpot meeting, I'll be playing the role of the timer, where every minute counts like coins dropping into a slot machine. My job is to ensure our speakers hit the timing sweet spot and don't gamble too much with their time. I'll be watching the clock closely and signaling with the green, yellow, and red lights to guide you. For prepared speeches, you have 5 to 7 minutes. I will signal green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. For table topics, you will get 1 to 2 minutes. I will signal green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5, and red at 2. Evaluators, you've got 2 to 3 minutes. I will signal green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2, and green, 2.5, and red at 3. And just like in every good game, there is a 30-second grace period because sometimes we all deserve that lucky spin. All the best to all the speakers tonight, and let's see who hits the timing jackpot. Thank you.
Grammar, proper usage of words, time, all of these resources are treasures that a proper Toastmaster must acquire to deliver an astounding speech. And speaking of treasure, today I want to talk about a few important people to this club and Toastmasters history. Firstly, I would like to talk about AJ Jose as a sponsor, Matthew Uman as a very valuable mentor, and of course, our own Dr. Babu as the founder president of this club. In fact, Doctor, if you could grace us with your treasured words and give a little speech to the club today. Just recover. Hi. Okay, anything particular for me? I just had to say. But if you don't tell me the time, you know how I tend to go. What's the time? 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. This is not cardio manual, by the way. Only when you start speaking properly with the
Time machine is turned off, don't worry.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, my dear friends, WMC family, and guests. I couldn't sit at home today. I had a long day today till noon. Sudabila saw me. I had to attend 3 or 4 meetings. Had an Onam Sadhya, though Onam is already over. I thought I'd relax for 10 minutes because I had another meeting at 6 o'clock. But something pulled me here. And that's what brought me. And that's what has kept me in WMC Toastmasters for more than 20 years. If I start out the history of the club, it's going to take long. I'll need at least 45 minutes to 1 hour to capture what has happened in just 5 years of the club. So I'm going to concise it into a nutshell in the 3 minutes allotted to me. Started off as a group of youngsters who wanted to impart communication skills to whoever came to us. And I remember the day when A.S. Jose told me, Babu, can you come over and take up the presidency for the club? I was happily ensconced in Manama Toastmasters Club, where I started my Toastmastering career and was comfortable not taking any office bearer roles. But he said, no, I want you to just come over, start the club, and after 1 year, you can go back. I gave him a word. I said, 1 year in WMC Toastmasters, and I'm going back to Manama. He said, fine, take over. But I didn't know, as I've said before, that was the spider in his web, roping me into the web. And I got into the web. I came here, there were around 10 people, 10 to 15 people. Yes, there were. Suresh Karnakaran, Rekha came in sometime later. Ganapati Narayan. The list is long. There were 20 people who started as the first founder members. I stayed for 1 meeting, 2 meetings, it went on. But when I could see the passion of the members, after 1 year, I told Mr. Jose, I think he'll continue for 1 more year. But I still maintained my membership in Toastmasters for nearly 7 to 8 years. And they said, Babu, you are wrong. You have been wronged by WMC. I said, no, WMC was given to me as a gift. And I'm happy mentoring it. Sorry, and after 7 years, I did goodbye to Manama Toastmasters. So I still acknowledge what I learned from it. And in the past so many years, I have seen this club grow. It was not always a bed of roses. There were many obstacles. There were times when the number of judges in a competition, which WMC organized in the Carlton Hotel, not the Ritz-Carlton,
the Carlton in Athilia, the number of judges were more than the number of members. Yes, it has happened. You won't believe it. There were just 5 of us sitting, 4 competitions, just 1 participant per year, and 10 judges. This was the way, because we could get in judges. But then times changed. But one thing we decided, and that is Suresh, myself, Ganapati, and Vedika, that our club will never go to a mediocre place as a venue until it is absolutely necessary. And that's how we went from there to the Hilton Hotel, spent a few years there, but then when they increased the charge, we went to Grand Mercure, and there also we were there. In between, for a short stint, we were somewhere in between in a small hall in Adlia. But then we said, no, this is not it. And I managed to get a good deal from Crown Plaza, and that has been our home for so many years. Now that they have increased the rate, the question was, should we move to a lesser location? I was dead against it. Totally against it. But I said, okay, lots of things matter. It's not just my view, it's the view of the club. Because finance definitely matters today. And if the club members want to go anywhere, I don't mind, I will still be a part. Some of the members took the decision that we will maintain our level as far as the ambience and things are concerned. And that's how we are here today, because I managed to get a good deal from Intercontinental. Of course, the rate may be a little high. There are other places where you may get a little less. Somehow I don't know, that's always left to the club. Tomorrow the club members feel, no, let's go to a cheaper cost venue. I will support it. Because for me, what matters is the passion of the members. And what matters is how they look at the future as leaders. And it's not the venue which really matters. It is the ideas that come out from us. And every meeting in WMC Toastmasters, every person that I interact with in WMC Toastmasters, I learn a lot. If I start looking around, I can say I learned from Roy, Yash. I don't know all the names, I'm sorry, but Owen, Surabila, Saji, Don, you, each and every one. I've seen that wonderful way in which he puts forward that. I don't even now I'm getting to terms with that because I'm not a fan of the social media. But that is what I learned from WMC Toastmasters. And finally, last week under severe pressure, I joined Instagram, but I don't know how to use it. Honestly, because there are 3 things. One is the Indian Community Relief Fund, for which I was the chairman for 3 years. And now I am the advisor, then the American Mission Hospital and WMC Toastmasters. I don't know, some messages coming, follow. I really don't know what it's about. I must take a class from those who are fed up of taking classes for me, as far as the pathways is concerned. And that's what I told Surabila. I want to do my projects, but give me the objectives, tell me the time, and I will commence. Evaluation not due, because I may be an oldie, but and of course I'm interested in learning. My son put a small thing on the desktop of my computer, which said computer use for morons. And then he gave it to me. He said, you open this, you will know all the details on how to handle the social media and so on. Not really keen on it. But now my passion, along with Toastmasters, is reaching out into the community. Trying to help the downtrodden in here. Because the ICRF has taught me a lot. With 3 years as vice chairman, 3 years as chairman, the 6 years, and even before that, I was involved in the community. But when I went into the real world here, you see hundreds and hundreds of Indians who are without a visa, housemates who are exploited, workers who don't get their pay. While we sit in the comforts of this hall, there are people toiling outside. There are some who stay in the garden as well. We try to pick them up, we give them a home, and then we try to send them back to India. And there have been cases where I've seen, after toiling for 20 years, when the person falls ill, the family back home says, keep him there, we don't want him here because he's not bringing. We feel sorry about it, but that's the reality of life. Many of you might have seen it, those in the church, those in other organizations might have seen. So always my appeal when I address an audience is, look around you. It's not just money that matters when you try to reach out. but look around you and see whom you can help. Sometimes by just telling a patient word, sometimes listening to them, and then guiding them for the proper guidance, where they want to go. Do they want to go back? And always our team, the Indian Community Relief Fund, is there to help. My personal telephone number is a helpline number, which I've circulated in almost 50 to 100 labor camps. Not that I'm over inundated with calls, but every call from a mobile number, I answer a return call. Today I had 3 calls saying a person who's stranded in Salmania wants to go back. The embassy reaches out to us. But you see, while we improve our communication and leadership skills, let's go beyond the 4 walls of this room. And let's try to embrace those people. But at the same time, let's see if we can make a difference. And WMC Toastmasters, I can proudly say, is one of the best Toastmaster clubs on the island. And that is not just patting ourselves on my back, but it is telling the truth. I've heard this comment from many people. It's all because of the teamwork, the excellent people who are here, and those who are not here, but still have that passion for WMC Toastmasters. And that's how I decided not to sleep and come here and spend at least half an hour to 40 minutes with you. Thank you. That's all. I think she forgot the time, but thank you.
I don't think it'd be mincing words to, of course, mention that not only for this club, but so many people across this island, Dr. Babu's presence has truly been hitting the jackpot, for lack of a better phrase. Now, as Vice President Sravila mentioned at the beginning of this address, giving us a history lesson about the empires that once ruled over India. Now we move on to a different type of education session regarding our speakers. Firstly, we would like to talk about Speaker Roy Skaya doing the Level 2 project with the title The Courage to Care. I would like to call upon Roy Skaya's evaluator, Toastmaster Don, to read out the objectives for Roy Skaya's project.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Today, Toastmaster Roy, he'll be doing his level 2 project in P1, and the title is Courage to Care under the Pathway Strategic Relationship. Hopefully, you have a great time with us. Thank you. Over to you.
What can I say about Toastmaster Roy Skaya? The one thing I can see for sure is that every single meeting that I've been in, I have never not seen Toastmaster Roy give a smile. It almost feels like that if you look at him, if something's reflecting back at you, it's not actually the bald head, it's really smiling at you. Toastmaster Roy has been with the WMC Toastmasters for about 2 years now, keeping Saudi Arabia, still works from time to time, and today he's here to grace his presence regarding his Pathways project. Toastmaster Roy, the floor is yours.
Leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those who are in your charge, said Simon Freed. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, welcome to this. Good afternoon. Why would a team of talented managers leave a large, successful multinational organization following their leader and joining a lesser scaled up company in Saudi Arabia? When I transitioned from the managing director of SGS, a Swiss multinational company, to the CEO of a relatively small company, all my managers who were reporting to me in SGS wanted to follow me. It is not because of any fancy titles or lucrative perks. It is the connection, the trust we built over 15 plus years, and especially my empathy and courage. Today, I'm going to share how empathy and courage become cornerstones of my leadership styles, which helped me to build a strong, motivated team of people. Let's start with empathy. It is easy to say we are empathetic, but how many leaders are really practicing it? I mean, some managers, they feel being empathetic means giving pep talk and adding more tasks to the team. Empathy means understand the feeling of your team members and genuinely caring them. I remember a day when I and my family were on vacation. I got an information from my team that one of our data entry staff got sick and they shifted him to Kim's Hospital, Thiruvananthapuram. And he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. I drove all the way from Nilambur to Thiruvananthapuram, which is about 400 kilometers, with family. And when I reached the hospital, I saw his wife, father, mother, all are sitting in the corner, completely lost. And I straight away went to the doctor's cabin. I discussed with the doctor about the condition of my colleague. And I requested doctor, do everything possible to bring him back to the life. And we will take care of all the hospitals. And when I came out from his cabin, the ladies were anxiously looking on my face. I reassured them, we'll do everything possible. And the doctor will start the treatment today, and the chemotherapy will start right from now. And you don't have to worry, we will take care of all hospital expenses. So empathy means it is not just a favor. I feel that all colleagues, all my team members, they are very closely attached to me. They are not robots or machines just to produce the works. My second point is courage. The courage means shielding and protecting your team from the circus of office politics. I mean, in corporate world, there are the corporate climbers. Their only intention is to protect their chairs. And they sniff around, they look around, and making some wild reports. And they march to the CEO's office and they show to the CEO that, oh, there is big projects coming. These are missed opportunities. There is NEOM project. There is the line project. There is mega projects, giga projects, and so on. And you know what? My team is bombarded with emails from headquarters asking for explanation, asking for reports, updates. I took all these messes personally. I never allowed my team to be attacked by any internal or external forces. I took all these nonsenses and protected my team, defending like a goalie, defending every shot. Sometimes I wonder when this corporate soap operas will end. Now you understand why these managers wanted to join me without even getting them a job offer from GOK. In summary, the first point is empathy. Empathy means taking care of, understand the feeling of your team member and genuinely taking care of their needs, especially during their darkest moments. Number two, it's the courage. You need to have the courage to protect your team from external disturbances and allowing them to focus on their tasks. Ladies and gentlemen, lead with empathy and courage, and you will see your team become unstoppable. Thank you.
very much for your speech. We'll now move on to our second speaker of the day, Toastmaster Cave. I would like to call upon Cave's valued Toastmaster Yashodan to lead out the objectives of Toastmaster Cave's speech.
Thank you, President. The Toastmasters and guests, good evening. Every week we hear a lot of stories about Toastmaster Cat. If he comes one time, there's a story behind it. If he runs the meeting, there's a story behind it. And today, Toastmaster Cat is going to present a speech based on the story. So the purpose of his speech, the purpose of the project is for the member to practice using story within the speech or giving a speech that is a story. We all know that Toastmaster Kev has got a treasure of stories. So let's see which story he's going to tell us today. All the very best, Toastmaster Kev.
Toastmaster Cave. Someone who took today's themes of jackpots and surprise and spontaneity so literally, so close to the heart that he came here still having his speech half completed. If someone like this could truly understand the treasure of today's theme, understanding what it really means to do something on the spot. And so, I would like to call upon Toastmasters Cave to come to the stage. Today's team speech is Save It, Don't Spill It, a level 3 project.
Thank you. Dad, something's wrong with the chair. The cable is broken. I can't really do my homework. Oh, well, shut up, little kid. I used to write under a candle. We didn't even have light. You don't get to speak here. Dad, I missed the bus. I can't go to school today. Go wait under the bus stop, wait for a red bus, and then go to school. But Dad, there was a lot of random people there, and I've never been to one. Well, shut up! I used to climb mountains and cross rivers to school. You do not get to speak here. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. And yes, how many of you are older siblings over here? Show me a few hands. Well, how many of you are parents over here? Show me a few hands. Well, my dearest Toastmasters, are you aware that as a parent or an older sibling, you hold an authority? Something all of you must have been aware of. But to make things more precise, you hold a certain power. Of course, you hold a lot of powers as parents. But the power I'm talking about here is stronger than anything else out there. Anything you could fathom. And perhaps, throughout your parenting journey, a lot of you might even forget that power. I've noticed that, to be honest, in a lot of parents and, as a matter of fact, in my own parents. Now, what is this power I'm talking about? It's the power of words. Words hold the power to ruin one's life, to build one's life, and as well as change one's life. If words are used at the right time and in the right tone, words could take you a long way. Well, my dearest Toastmasters, 2 years ago, life had started to take a toll on me. I had just opened my second store. However, I was faced with a few challenges. Thankfully, there weren't financial challenges, but there were challenges which even money couldn't solve. We were going through an employee crisis. We had a few employees who weren't trained. And since I had opened 2 stores in 3 months, I had to myself sit in one 12 hours a day, which is completely fine. But that happened around a time where a lot was going on for me in life. And I had to push all of it to 3 to 4 months behind, and I had to sacrifice everything else just so I could sit at my shop and keep the show running. And of course, I never really complained. I was happy with how things went. And this was all part of the game. However, it started to take a toll on me. I started to become agitated more easily, angry more easily, and I wasn't really happy with the way things were going, but I had to keep going on with it. And on one certain day, I remember I was in the car with my dad after, closing my shop. That day I had taken my dad with me. And in the car, my dad asked me, so what are your plans today after work? I told dad, today has been a slow day at work. I think I'm going to do the usual at the theater. Now, what's the usual at the theater? Usually, I had this habit maybe a year ago. When life would get too tough for me or when I would get too agitated, I would go inside a theater. I would ask them, what is the next movie that's playing? It could be a Malayalam movie, an Arabic movie, anything. They would tell me, this is going to play in 15 minutes. I would sit there, watch that. Sometimes I would sleep and then I would go home. That was my way of coping with life. So I told him that's what I'm going to do. And I was like, oh, you enjoy, man, big man. Go sit in a theater, have some popcorn, it's all good. And after some time, my dad told me a story. And this story was one which I heard for the first time in my entire life. But it shook my ground. As a matter of fact, the words he used in that moment, during that drive, to this day, whenever I feel that life is too hard on me, I remember those words. Those words have gone so far with me, I can't even fathom. However, I'll cut the trailer short and take you to his story. He started off by saying, remember when I told you I had started my career in Dubai? I told him yes. And then I had gone to New York. I told him yes. Well, I asked him on my own, well, you had a shop there, didn't you? He told me, yes, I did have a shop there, but do you know what I did before I had a shop in New York? I told him, no, what did you do? He told me that it used to be winter at that time, and he used to put on 3 jackets, a Kashmiri ferret, which Kashmiris would put on in intense cold, 3 socks, it were quite thick ones, trekking boots with a sole bigger than 3 inches. And then he would wake up at 3 a.m., hop on a train to New York City, grab a cart, go to the place where he had stored his goods, walk for 45 minutes to 1 hour to the flea market, and then sell the goods from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. every weekend. On a good weekend, you would make between $500 to $1,000, and on a bad weekend, it would be even worse. And he did that until he got a shop. And even after he got a shop, he continued to do that. And he didn't even complain a single day. He was married at the time. My mom was in India. Later on, she too came to the US. But the point here is, I never imagined my father as a street vendor. Sometimes when my father lifts goods in a shop or in a mall, I tell him, what are you doing? Keep it down. I lift it, or I call one of our employees or someone, lift this. Dad tells me, what are you doing, Cap? I tell him, no, you'll be seen as weak. But I never knew that my father used to lift a cart, let alone goods in some mall, and used to walk for 1 hour in blistering cold. And I still remember this one detail which my father told me. He told me it used to be so cold outside during those times. I used to put 1 foot on another, and the rest I would feel on the feet on top would be immense. And then I would change and put another foot on another one. And I would keep doing this for 12 hours in the blistering cold while selling my goods. My fellow Toastmasters, those words right there humbled me. I am blessed with a shop. I am blessed with 20 men working for me. I am blessed with transport, and I'm blessed with a good suit and a beautiful environment. And I'm here complaining about sitting 12 hours a day in a shop. I'm going to the theater and falling asleep there because life got too much for me. My fellow Toastmasters, those words, my father could have told it to me ever since I was born. Any mistake I would have made, my father could have told it 10 times. Oh, I used to raise a cart when I was young. What are you doing here? You don't get to complain. Oh, you're complaining about studies? I used to raise a cart, I used to do this and that. My father never told it to me. Not because he has an ego, but he is a master storyteller. He knew the words he had were like gemstones. And he saved it till the right moment. And when he gave it to me, that gave me a boost so strong, my dearest Toastmasters. I am here, I stand up, I wake up every morning, no matter what challenge I have. Trust me when I say it, I wake up with a whole different energy. And 70% of the reason is the words my father shared with me when I was 20 after a long day at work. So, my dearest Toastmasters, you have a good story, save it, don't spill it.
Truly inspiring was in Toastmaster Cave today, and only half of them came right at the moment. Now you move on to the break period as you for a photo shoot and coffee break before we move on to the table topic session.
Let's all gather at the back for our photo shoot.
Yes.
I think I showed him my pen.
Thank you. Yes. Please, please. There is, we are please, sir.
How are you doing, man? I'll go with you. Oh, thank you, yes, sir. I understand. I understand what the
I can see that. Oh.
Watching your race. Thank you.
Refreshments. Next time I will drink, huh? Yeah, I can say. Yeah. I must also manage the No, this is what Hey, go on. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
After that.
But now, what if I wake up and think like I sleep already, then I get started with mostly like some of the days, I only open my laptop for like 30 minutes. Like one night, I'm probably seeing 4 to 5 lines.
If everyone please return to their seats, we will be resuming now.
No need to take a break.
Once again, if there are 7 please return to their seats.
Oh, no, no, but.
Go back.
Now that our session has been resumed, we will now move on to the table topics section. Table topics is a subject of controversy for many Toastmasters and Cavaliers. When I first joined my Cavaliers club, the table topics session was something that I despised. Every session as a guest member, I was asked to call up on the stage and attend the table topic session. And while I won the ribbons every time, that didn't mean I liked it anymore. Nonetheless, table topics are a core part of a Toastmasters meeting because this is where the true spontaneity lies. This is where one's creative juices start to flow, where we can finally prove to ourselves what an effective speaker we are. That with just a few minutes of time and barely a second of preparation, we can come onto the stage and give a damn good attentive speech. And our table topics master for the day requires very little introduction. You need an introduction at all, you can just go here. Nonetheless, please introduce Area Director, Past President, a bit for a robotic father, TM Owen.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So for our new members and guests, just to introduction about, he has already given a brief introduction of table topics, what it is and how it is. Like you will be called to speak for a couple of minutes. And I'll be giving you a topic, and it's a jackpot meeting. We are on treasure hunt. So I didn't get time to prepare for that, but still I jotted down a few questions. So I'll be calling you for that. And first I'll call some senior Toastmasters to exhibit how it goes and all, and then I will call upon the guests as well. And it's an opportunity, it's an impromptu. You know, when your boss calls you off for something and you have to give him a nice excuse, him or her. So that time the spontaneity comes. So that's exactly, you have to come and do it over here as well. And even your spouse sometimes questions you. That time also you can reveal how good you are at impromptu. So this is the case, and I'll call upon you over here and you have to come and speak. We call upon our first speaker. Today he's a very busy man. I thought of calling him. May I call upon Toastmaster Vivek? So Vivek, your question, do you celebrate the things do you have? Do you celebrate the things do you have? Toastmaster Vivek.
Okay, celebration for me. My philosophy about celebration is generally not in terms of dates. So let's go back to the question once again. Whether I do celebrate whatever I have. The more correct answer to give is I celebrate whatever I earned. There are many events that allow us to celebrate. We could celebrate our birthday, our wedding, our anniversary, but I always feel that these are dates. They regularly come every time. We can celebrate our things that we had bought, or I find that sometimes if you do buy a car, or you buy a motorcycle, or you went to a home, there is always an element of celebration there as well. But I feel that the best way to celebrate is celebrate where you have actually put your sweat. Right, so if you have put your sweat and then you have earned a degree, if you have put a sweat and you have programmed a meeting, if you have put your sweat and you have achieved something, so that is an acknowledgement of your brain, of your efforts. That is the right thing to celebrate. Rather than a particular date that comes every year, rather than a resource that you already have. If you want to celebrate what you have achieved, that is celebration, in my opinion, the right spirit, because that is really celebrating your ability. That is the only thing worth celebrating. Everything else is transient. Over to you.
Thank you. That was very philosophical, like Sadhguru is hearing. May call upon the next speaker, Toastmaster Dakshin, to come on stage. As we are at the jackpot, let's see if you are in a casino in Las Vegas and you won a jackpot of $1 million US. How will you go about it? How will you go about it if you won a jackpot of 1 million USD?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
What a wonderful question. I think finally I have the solution to all my problems. I just got the jackpot here. What will I do with that money? Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm really going to do is a fond memory, a fond idea that I have in place, something that's always in my mind, was to start off something with an event management space. Having worked in that industry in India, back in Bangalore, I think rather than investing taking money from my investors, I'd rather put in the money for the jackpot. And here and there, if there's any debts to be cleared, probably $1 million US is pretty good money. I think I can take care of the debts as well. And apart from that, whatever money is left, I'll really put into this industry. And why this industry? Because I believe there is a vision that I have for event management, with the lights going around, immersifying yourself in with the sound, with the music, with your favorite artist, with your comfy chair when you're seated in that venue. It's exceptional. It's a goosebump moment. It's something that's never been done. And that's something in my mind. I just want to put it out there. And for that, I need money. So I'm glad I finally have the money, and I'll be giving free tickets for all of you all to attend my event. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Just exact opposite to Vivek, like he was very realistic. What will we do with the money? So, may call upon the third speaker. I have to call now. Are you okay to speak?
We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
But it's tricky now, jackpot to something about really impromptu. You just got stopped for speeding. See if you can talk your way out of ticket. You just got stopped for speeding. See if you can talk your way out with the policeman to avoid the ticket.
Speeding.
Yeah.
First, I have to think why they did that, because I don't drive too much fast. Yeah, one question I always go to my comfort, never in hurry. So meanwhile, if they are charging for me that, it means there is some emergency. So I will explain that might be someone is sick, or might be someone need me to be there. Only that will be the reason if they get a ticket from me. So I am not getting any story on that. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else try to give a thought about it? Just want to try, maybe Yash or someone? No? Yeah. We'll go for the last one as we are running short of time. So who's left? Who's left? Who's left? Or any volunteers, like one person, anyone would like to come and speak? Yeah, okay. Yeah. What one thing have you not done that you really want to do? What one thing have you not done that you really want to do?
Well, stealing the words from the last Toastmaster that showed up, I would love to not have a speeding ticket because that is something I regularly get. But then, yes, the one thing that I really want to do and I've been trying to do over the years is I've always had this dream of putting my music out there. That is something a lot of people don't know about me. I've been like, I've been a notorious kid during my childhood days, like as a student. And so there were these competitions in school, whether it's speech or poetry and singing or all of that sort. And being a notorious kid, that's the last thing a teacher in culturals expect you to be at. When I show up at the poetry event or something, the teacher would be like, "Are you in the wrong place? Like, did you just bunk your classes? Like, you just wanted a way out of class?" It would come to a point where I wrote something and I hand it over and they'd be like, "Did you just Google this? Like, this doesn't look like what would come out from you." And over the years, I still keep working on it. And let's see, hopefully one day you would see a labeled item out there and hopefully it would make to the top 100 or 10 or whatever it is of chance. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. Hope you all enjoyed this particular session. I give control back to my son.
Control back to me. Never thought I'd ever hear those words. Now, moving on to a position that I think not enough Toastmasters understand just the power of this position. You see, I've often heard about how people find themselves struggling to pick up roles as an evaluator. I've never understood this dilemma because if you think about it, being an evaluator is basically being allowed to judge someone with no real repercussions. And so I would like to call upon the only person today who actually wrote down an introduction to give me. Toastmaster Vicky, a CAECS with 10 plus years of experience, a gardener, a violinist, and a love of paintings, a true artist who's going to tear everyone down this session. Toastmaster Vicky, please continue.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nathan. You are doing a great job. Dear Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. A very good evening to all of you. Did I give that Toastmaster? He's not a Toastmaster. Yeah, he is not a Toastmaster, but he just stole the title. Yeah. So it would be unfair if I don't call him a Toastmaster. Because he is actually playing the role of the Toastmaster of the day. Yes, he is the man of the day. Let's give him a big round of applause. Before I say any more of it about the meeting, can we quickly finish the evaluation? But before that, I'm going to request our timer for the day, Toastmaster Nidhi, to please share with us the time taken by each speaker.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Roy's career took 6 minutes, 12 seconds. Toastmaster Kev Jahangir took 7 minutes, 36 seconds.
Wow.
Table topic speakers are.
Yes, table topics.
For table topic, Toastmaster Vivek took 1 minute, 48 seconds. Toastmaster Dakshin had taken 1 minute, 15 seconds. And our guest took 24 seconds. So that is qualification. And Toastmaster Don took 1 minute, 17 seconds.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nidhi. So do we follow disqualification for the voting?
I believe so.
Yes. All right.
Right now.
Yeah. Okay. Heading to the next part of the general evaluation, can I please invite evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Don, to evaluate the speech delivered by Toastmaster Roy. Let's welcome Toastmaster Don.
Good evening once again, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
What can I say about Roy's career? He's truly a treasure to our club. I love the way that he started off with his speech. There was clearly a good command in his vocals, and the flow of words and the pace that he took his speech was absolutely eloquent. Although, if I had to make a couple of recommendations, I would just say that the flow could be used a bit more. And I guess that probably the initial few minutes you just took some time to get into your element, because I think you had been shuffling your feet really quickly for the first couple of minutes, but then you really eased into it and you got really comfortable. But overall, you had a good command in your speech, and I love how you connected with the stories that you had, whether of the examples that you had, because it was really engaging for us to relate to. And overall, I would say that it was a really interesting speech to listen to. And if I had to, yes, if I'm just checking for, yes, something again that I just sorry missed this. In the initial point, there was this good breath pause. It did not seem like you forgot something, neither did it seem like you were struggling to find the words. So you took a good time and you again set off the tone. And like I mentioned, there was a great flow throughout the speech. So looking forward to hearing you again soon. And thank you once again.
Thank you, Toastmaster Don, for that elaborate evaluation. Toastmaster Roy, if I had to add a few more points from my side, starting with the title of your speech. The title of the speech said courage to care. So what I was expecting in my mind that it would be like a journey, courage to care. So I was expecting a sort of a journey in your speech. Your speech started with a beautiful quote on leadership, and then you went on to greet the audience. And after that, you came up with the question that why would someone leave a job which is high profile and get into a company which is slightly at a lower, like a slightly less scale company. Well, I want to highlight a few points that I really liked about your speech. I really like your voice projection. When you stand on the stage, your voice actually reaches the audience. You have great language, great command over the language, including the body language. Your attire was very nice. I love your suit. You were very presentable, and you had a very pleasant presence on the stage. So overall, very well done. Your speech was focusing mainly on two values, empathy and courage, which you were talking about. Mainly the body of your speech incorporated, and you were trying to speak about these two values. And towards the end, you concluded saying that if you lead your team with these two values, you're never going to fail. Now, here I want to give you two recommendations. One is at certain point of time in your speech, I felt that there's certain repetitions. So when you spoke, already finished speaking about empathy, but after a point of time, again you spoke about empathy. So there was a repetition of both the values. And second is the chronology of the speech. I would have loved if you had started your speech with the question, then greeted and then went on. That would have created more curiosity. And also, I would have loved if you had introduced few characters in your speech. Like we would love to know who was your boss and how he looked like and how he treated you and what really inspired you to leave that company and again follow your lead. Overall, a great speech. Congratulations to you and good luck with the next project. Let's give our speaker a big round of applause. Our next speaker, Toastmaster Kev, who delivered a very spontaneously beautiful speech. Save it, but don't spill it. And to evaluate this speech, may I please invite his evaluator, our champion speaker, Toastmaster Yashodi.
Once again, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. In today's speech of Toastmaster Cat, I learned something new. I learned how to tell a story. That too from one of the greatest storytellers of our club. Telling a story is basically creating that image or that picture in front of our eyes. And that is exactly what we experienced today. We were sort of a part of that story, and I could see his dad wearing all these jackets and then pulling that trolley and then folding the hands. I could really see that happening in front of my eyes. And that's the power of the storyteller, which definitely Toastmaster Kev showed us today. Another thing which I learned from him today was how to own the stage. Till now, I'm not successful in doing that. And Kev, he does it every now and then. He comes here and then he roams around this stage, his body language, gestures, voice modulation. This shows that as if he is doing this every day. This is something I really, really learned from you today, Kev. Now, regarding the content of your speech, the project is for telling a story. Now, if you look at the speech, the actual story was hardly 10 to 15% of that entire speech. You were telling so many things in the beginning, blah, 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 blah. Finally, you said, let me cut the trailer short. I said, thank God, now it is at a point. Before that, you were just running behind the bush. I was just saying, आखिर कहना क्या चाहते हो? Come to the point. And then of course, when you started telling the story, after that, it was like boom, 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 typical cat style. But then those almost 80% of your speech that was not very well connected to the story. So you need to prepare well. Whenever you write any sentence in that speech, just make sure whether this is required in your speech or not, and what is its reference to another lines. Second recommendation for you is like all your speeches are about your shop and your experiences in the shop. So come out from that and tell us something different. Marketing. You are a fantastic speaker. Just take care of this preparation and couple of other points, and you will be the champion.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Kev.
Oh,
Yash.
Yes, sure.
Sorry, thank you, Toastmaster Yashod, for that elaborate evaluation. And coming back to Toastmaster Kev, delivered a wonderful speech. I do have a few points to share with you. I really like the opening of your speech where you started with a conversation and you established two characters on the stage, where you were standing on the left side and your dad was standing on the right side. So that is where you grabbed attention. The title of your speech was Save It, Don't Spill It. So till the time you concluded your speech, I was trying to understand what is it. And at one point of the time, because at international speeches, there are the winning speeches are mostly the ones which go with a particular anecdote. So I thought, okay, wow, this is going somewhere. And at one point, I thought that when you say save it, I thought you're talking about embracing the challenges which you went through, and then don't spill it is like you're going to come up with a new concept. And then towards that, it was slightly different, but still a great speech. What I really liked about your speech again is your voice projection, your language, your attire, your presentation, your presence on the stage was also very pleasant. At certain places, I felt that your moment on the stage was purposeful, but at certain places, I felt it was not with purpose. You were being like my college professor. Okay, so you were walking, so you can probably avoid that. Also, your hand gesture, your hands were like this when you started your speech. And I was wondering why is that, and then you changed your hand movements. Okay. But I would recommend that if you don't, if it's not required, you can just be free. But that's going to affect the mind of the audience. If your hands are not free, it's going to distract them. Also, there are certain places where you said I, and in the next sentence you said we. Okay, so when you said we, I know that you were talking about we as a business. Okay, but you need to define that somewhere because audience won't know when you're saying we, what do you mean? So overall, a great speech. You're a champion speaker. Good luck for your next speak. Thank you. Thank you. Before we move on to the rest of it, can I request that I am Toastmaster Nidhi to spell out the time taken by our evaluators?
Toastmaster Dawn took 1 minute 45 seconds, and Toastmaster Yashoda Navyankar took 2 minutes 58 seconds.
Thank you, Toastmaster.
Right.
So both the evaluators qualified for the voting. Okay, do I need to wait for the voting? Can go ahead.
All the five.
All right,
Yeah, so everything reported, I've got the report. Once you're finished.
so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the flow of the meeting and then I'm going to call it Rameri towards the end. Okay, so you can check my grammar as well. First of all, the idea of the meeting, we've already applauded for the idea, but I really like the idea because as a VP education, sometimes I find it difficult to prepare the agenda. So whenever I don't have time, I'm going to go to the meeting and I'm not even going to prepare this agenda. I thought there is no agenda for today's meeting. And I'm going to pick up the speakers also by lot. Okay, so this is an excellent idea. I really liked it. It kind of gives us new challenge and it also helps us to understand our weaknesses and our strengths. So excellent idea. I received the agenda today. I was assuming there is no agenda, but I received the agenda well in advance. Thank you for this. This is very well drafted and everything is what I observed about the agenda is that there is one thing that I was confused is I couldn't see who is the Toastmaster and who is the distinguished Toastmaster. So I think when a person is a distinguished Toastmaster, we can mention that on the agenda so that
We don't have any distinguished Toastmasters in university.
okay.
Okay. So generally, how we put as DTM is kept at the end.
Yes.
Since there is none here, so.
Okay, so that way. We just wanted to clarify that. Our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Geeta, she opened the meeting. We were like 10-15 minutes late, mostly because of the new venue. So I think that's fine. She opened the meeting and she explained the ground rules, the housekeeping rules, and the basic rules about the Toastmasters. Then she invited the president. President Madam addressed the audience and well, she started with a small story and then she went on with the general business, the apologies received. And she also went on to thank the founding president, Ralphie Smedley, for establishing this platform. I think, President Madam, you've done a fantastic job today. You also established the roles, you adopted the agenda. Well, there was a little bit of chaos, but I think that's the essence of today's meeting, that we want chaos because when we are at the casino, there has to be a lot of noise. So I think that was the vibes were perfect. Then we had our area 14 director, Toastmaster Owen, addressing all of us. You gave us a lot of information about your role in area 14. You also encouraged your Toastmaster friends to take up new roles. I have taken up role at District 20 and I can vouch for this, that when you take up such roles, you do learn a lot, you do meet a lot of inspiring people and you learn in a way that you won't even come to know that. It's just like losing fats, like you're going to the gym, but you don't see the results in one day. But after 20 minutes, you have your abs. Or after 20 weeks, okay. So it's just like that, works like exercise. So thank you, Toastmaster Owen, for sharing all that insightful information. Also, you've shared the fact that your club is president distinguished, and that kind of gives me some insights on what I am supposed to do as a education back home. And also regarding moments of truth, I think you mentioned about it before also, but I'm not pretty sure about the concept, but I'm going to connect with you little later to know more on that. Then yes, the hero for today, our Toastmaster of the day, Nathan, who has actually willingly taken up the role. I think taking up a Toastmaster of the day role is not easy because it's something that you're going to drive to the meeting. It's a theme and you need to prepare. But I see that how intelligently he planned his role, and when he had breaks, he went on to each and every member to collect information from them. Although how briefly it would be, but he made sure that he introduces each and every member when he's calling on the stage. So great job by Master. Then yes, we had a grammarian introduce the word of the day. The word of the day, treasure. I think my treasure has increased today after attending this meeting, and I have assured, I have ensured that I have used the word of the day now. Our counter, Toastmaster Sitara, has explained her role very well. Our timer, she has actually done complete justice to her role. In fact, I love the address that you, as a timer, when you introduce the timing criteria, the way you have incorporated the theme of the meeting. She also spoke about casino and about jackpot while giving her address. You actually used your entire time. Then we had our founder president, Dr. Babu. He's a very sweet personality. I meet him at my American Mission and it's very happy to see him. And he also shared his wonderful motivational story with us. That was really nice. And that was followed by our education session, which was so the meeting was actually we were late by 10 to 15 minutes each section, but thanks to our table topic master, he actually covered up for that, and I think now they're going to overshot because of me. So I don't really realize when I start talking. I hope I have covered most of the point. We've had our photo shoot. I think that was very diligently placed, like take a photo and at the same time, thanks to the Master Vivek. And now I'm going to call the role player, and this is one of my favorite role, by the way, grammarian and R counter. This is the role that I enjoy playing. So I'm going to call the R counter first, and followed by the grammarian. Can we please give a round of applause to our R counter?
Starting once again. In this today's jackpot meeting, let me start with the report of our counter. And here, the name that comes first is mine itself. Altogether, I think I made 2 R, 1 and repeated and 2 times. Then Toastmaster Don Samuel repeated R 2 times. Toastmaster Royce Perea repeated the word I 3 times, and there were 2 unusual pauses in his speech. Toastmaster Kev was like a express. There weren't much pauses or related words. Toastmaster Owen had 2 and repeated the word and 3 times. Toastmaster Don, when doing this evaluation, there were 2 2 and repeated and 4 times. Toastmaster Vicky, 2 times and the word the 3 times. That's all. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that was a very honest counter report because she started with her own name, and I observed that when she gave her address, she said and then very intelligently when she drafted the next sentence, she drafted the sentence with the word A. So your next sentence actually, so it was very intelligent. Nobody would come to know that you actually used the filler, but you still admitted that. Very, very, very well drafted report, Toastmaster Sitara. Thank you very much. Now, may I please invite Toastmaster Dr. Saji for his grammarian report.
Good evening once again. The word of the day was treasure. Almost all use the word of the day except for the
public also will know, and the president actually, was introduced later. But the most was, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster name, followed by Toastmaster Asia. So they are the most, they use most. Some of the words or thoughts, the ending of page was very interesting for me. If you have a good story, save it, don't spill it. Actually, I thought when you said, do you have any parents or siblings, and you were talking about authority. What I thought was, use your authoritative too many times, don't spill it. Actually, not that, you connect that, but suddenly this came into my that was nice. Then the quote by Roy about leadership, actually couldn't, but the leadership, that quote was very nice. Not much grammatical error because it was a jackpot meeting, so we could understand. Other than that, all the grammar use was, the grammar use was there.
Thank you, Toastmasters. So, Mr. Roy, what was that quote? Even I want to know. Your opening quote of this speech.
Mark Twain. No, the leadership is not about being in charge. It is about taking care of those who are in your charge.
Listening to that quote from his mouth, like in his voice, makes a whole lot of difference actually. The way he projects and hits on the correct word. Very nice. I think I've completed pretty early. I hope I've not missed out on anything. And I do have few recommendations, general recommendations. I don't think the business session is done yet, or is it going to happen afterwards?
We have already started off late and
But I don't know why my general evaluation.
last time we didn't have. Last time we didn't. Yeah, I guess it's not good to have. So we will have also.
Okay, so I think I'm allotted actually 45 minutes.
There is
There
too
were
much
eight
time.
speeches,
Yeah.
so the time allotted is too much. This is some general feedback that I have for the club. One is the customary handshake. Please ensure that the customary handshake is taken care of. Whoever comes on the stage and whoever leaves the stage comes in with a handshake and leaves with a handshake. That would be very important during the contest. And our role players also, it would be great if we could have you all on the stage when you all are giving your address and presenting your report, because there is a time slot allotted for you, and you should actually use the entire time allotted to you. Regarding the timer, the cards are generally displayed for the speakers, but they can also be used in the other sections of the meeting, especially when we have guests and they are not aware that they are allotted only 10 minutes and they might overshoot. So you can definitely use the cards at that time also. So overall, that's it from my side. I had a wonderful time attending the meeting. I'm going to hand back the control to our Toastmaster of the day. Okay.
Thank you much to DM Vicky for that insightful evaluation. They always say that all good things come to an end, but all, just fine things, those can also come to an end as well. And I would say this experience, thank you very much for the experience you've done today. It is my utmost honor to have been the Toastmaster of the day for this wonderful and very unique presentation. Once again, I really applaud the people who came up with this brainstorm. It was a very innovative idea and definitely added some excitement into a Toastmaster session. And now it seems that my time has come, and I will return the floor to our Vice President and Acting President in charge, TM Surabala.
Take the general evaluator suggestion. Thank you so much, dear. So as we have time left, we'll move on to the business session. We have only 3 ex-com members here today. On that apology note, Secretary, on behalf of Secretary Anita Kumari, Hita will be leading the short meeting minutes. And the meeting minutes is already shared in the group, and then the short meeting minutes will be read by Hita.
Short minutes of meeting 490 conducted on time. The Surgeon of the Town, Sita Krishna, opens the meeting at 4:04 p.m. The President, Toastmaster Prabodha Sarandi, called meeting to order. The President next introduces the theme of the day and the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Don Samuel. He gives a tribute to all teachers on the occasion of National Teachers Day. Toastmaster of the day introduce all the role players. The word of the day is nostalgia. Educational session has 3 speeches by Toastmaster Sitara Sridharan, Toastmaster Sati Kumar, and Toastmaster Surabina Patan. Evaluated by Toastmaster Murali Udayakan, Toastmaster Vivek Tilakan, and Toastmaster Abdul Reddy. Next, we have a table topic workshop by DTM Farhas Fur, followed by the general evaluation session by Toastmaster Roy Satria. Awards were declared next. The best of tag, Toastmaster Emmanuel Williams as grammarian. Best of TMOD general evaluator, Toastmaster Don Samuel as Toastmaster of the day. Best evaluator, Toastmaster Abdul Reddy. Best speaker award, Toastmaster Sitara Sridhar. The meeting was adjourned at 6:36 p.m. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Can I request Vivek to give the treasurer's report on behalf of our treasurer? Can someone please adopt the meeting minutes?
I, Toastmaster Vivek Tilakan, move a motion to adopt the meeting minutes as read.
Thank you. Someone to second it?
I will second the meeting minutes.
Okay, thank you. Now, Vivek, can you please give the treasurer's report on behalf of Subramanian?
Thank you, President. So, on behalf of the treasurer, first thing is something that he, along with the club, has won, which is the C9 award for crossing 80% of the TMI membership fees. So, congrats to WMC and the treasurer for getting this award, for landing it. I think as per the last update, there are around maybe 4 members left to pay. So that is the current status. Something, an addendum which is also related to the VPM is up till this September, it's 31 paid members. So this is the status as of now.
So you already spoke for VP membership also. Right now. Thank you. Now can you give your report as a VP PR?
All right. What do you think I'm going to say first? Yeah, so this eloquence, after 10 days, the month will end. So before that, I'm not really expecting, maybe I have a club of set of photos from Kaif about his Kashmir adventures, how he escaped 2 bullets and 3 jeeps and all of that. Possibly it may come up. So I'm going to release that in October of the first quarter. So this is just to say that almost everything is done. If you need me to sneak in something, you have barely 2 to 3 days. You can take this opportunity and let me know. And I'll try to sneak in if it is possible. So that is the readout about eloquence. Now, something else, the PR awards, like I have already mentioned, PR awards, there are awards for members, there are awards for the club, and there are awards for the area division it goes on. So, whatever I post and I put up, I have submitted, let's say 2 entries for this month in terms of club. I have not received anything in terms of from the members, or I could have done that as well. I just want to encourage you, just think of it in this manner, in a broad manner, all right? PRs of a lot of clubs do a lot of things. So they may or may not submit their entries. But how many members of the clubs do something privately and the PR will post that? It will be very little. Okay. So if you're intelligent about it, your competition is little compared to my competition. So if you put up a poster or a meme or a writer and I put up on my account, you have a lesser pool of competition to land the price with compared to me. So use the opportunity, all right? And let's see if we can land something. This is just an alert from my side to you. All right, you can win something and we can win something as well. So that's just an alert from my side. And for anything else, like I have mentioned, I'm a fairly open person. So you want to give a particular write-up or something like that, we may think of ways in which we can upload the write-up or the poem. The social media account is not just a place for us to put our photos and names and all of that. It is also a place where I will showcase the achievements of my members. Isn't that supposed to be my role? My club megaphone is used to promote not just WMC, but also the members of WMC. Borrowing from Roy's words, it's not just taking care of you, but taking care of your achievements as well. So let me know how I can assist, and I will always boost you using the megaphone that I have in my mind. That's all from me, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Something has a longevity membership. Anything more?
No.
No, right?
No.
All right. Thank you. So speaking for maybe education, to be frank and to be true, this week was baby education's delight. Because every time I find it really hard to fix my agenda, finding the role players, not for every role, but for particular roles as it was there. And we had a trend, as I said in the beginning, we had a trend where some roles were monotonously handled by, if this time it is our counter, next time we will be the timer, or next time they will. So this monotony was happening. So we wanted to break this monotony, and when Vivek came up with this idea, we thought, let's go for it. So genuinely, this was BB Education's delight, because I was relaxed till then and I thought I will really have a tough time today. But then even today I was comparatively very relaxed, because we had some already established Toastmasters coming in, and even though he's not a Toastmaster, he's already titled as Toastmasters, who were ready to take up this tough roles. And thank you so much everyone for stepping in. And one more thing as group education, to all the, because mentor-mentor relationship was one something that was an important objective as for our ExCom. So to make it more involving or make it more meaningful, and actually made a member performance report, a dashboard has been shared with every mentor. I request every mentors to kindly reflect on it, so that there are, when I got feedback from one of the mentors saying that their mentees are doing really good. Yes, of course, they're doing really good. And that is why the WMC is actually doing really good. But then, what can we do to take them to the next level? So, for example, I as a speaker, I can give my speech as prepared speech. But if you ask me to come and give a table topic speech or take up a TMOD role, I still I'm not confident. So what can we do from what we are now and to take up them to the next level? That is what a mentor-mentee should actually work on. So my purpose of sharing this was that. So kindly work on this and reflect, so that everyone is benefited. And that is what, as VP Education, I wanted to tell. Thank you so much.
President, 2.7. One about Vivek mentioned about PR awards and all. In that, the main important aspect is you have to now put according to PR manager, you have to give your name. Like Vivek is already PR, wherever he is putting his name, Vivek, he will be under PR. And others, you have to leave your name. If your name is not there, they are not selecting your whatever, what is your meme or your flyer. They will not entertain that. So that they have to leave behind the bottom of signature with your name you have mentioned. And then second thing about, there is a District 20 Toastmasters.org website is already launched. And in that, all the clubs are added as well. When our meetings are happening, it is all displayed. Along with that, people can contribute. You are encouraged to write a blog or from the posting, anything you can do. If you have to reach out to medium and you will have it.
Thank you. That was a note for everyone.
Yeah, for everyone, anybody can.
Thank you so much. Yes.
We need to also know about the venue, because this is the first meeting in this order.
Yeah.
So what is going to be in the future, here or somewhere else, or
It
are we
is,
continuing it?
it is going to be here. We are going to continue with it.
Yeah, we've been continuing here.
Sign the contract, so 1 year contract?
Because as per Rosa's message, what I was only this 2 meetings for the year.
No, we have already.
No, we already signed the contract, but then for what term I am not very sure.
It should be 1 year contract. That's the reason we had an issue with the Hilton was conduct Camels meeting as well. Because of that same year, the Camels also they are running now. Slight increase of price.
So what is the increase in price?
Not for members, there is no increase, but it will be compensated from the gallows. The gallows will be lesser and it will be very slightly more and moderate. Because the strength is quite big for the gallows too. We are at 36 active members,
So compared to the previous hotel from Plaza and this, how much percentage is this or how much amount is this?
not the difference.
No.
Even from me, I guess slightly 1 BT or something is increased.
1
One BT, yeah, 1 BT per head, but that will not impact inspection, it is going from the gap. We would be negotiated and then looking at the spread as well, like the weekend situation. How much did you get? No, you have other thinking as well. But they will guide you generally. If it's a full over here, they will ask you to park in the separate. There are three separate parking buildings. Yeah. But they are in the bigger car, it's challenge for your driving lessons. So
Actually, the price was higher at Crown Plaza, and that is why we actually.
Crown Plaza double.
Double, yeah, much higher. And that is why we had to switch to this place. And Hilton, this Gambia also was a concern, that's why.
And they were like.
A lot of negotiation actually.
25 is 25, they were that perfect. One more than the recharge.
Yeah.
Here it's surprising that Crown Plaza charging more than Intercontinental because it's the same.
Yes, same group.
And the higher star of the base in the group.
Yes.
And Crown Plaza is below.
That is because of who's the person in charge here, you know, Crown Plaza earlier lady, she managed Crown Plaza, she's managing now this account. Here in Intercontinental. So the same person. Same person.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, we come to close the business session. Thank you so much. Now, coming to the president's closing remarks. As we told, we took the less traveled by route, and did we do well?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we did well, and even if we did do well, we all learned. We all learned a lot from today. How spontaneous and how extempore how well we can manage an extempore meeting. And for a VP education, there's, as I told, a lot of learning again. And for each of us, when something spontaneously coming in front of us, how we will take it. This was a real learning experience. This was actually the gist. Even if it goes wrong, we will learn. Even if it flourishes, even then we learn. So that was the only courage with which we came here today. Thank you so much for all of your support. And can we hear from the guests before we wind up?
Once again, yeah. Sorry.
That's
Good, yeah. Once again, good evening, everyone. It was wonderful actually this meeting. Thank you so much, Riddhi, for inviting me for your meeting. And I really had a nice time. I met a lot of nice people today. And I don't think I've attended any meetings of clubs from this area. So it was a new experience as an area wise also for me. And a great venue. All the best for the club and all the best for the members. Wishing for the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Good evening once again. Thank you so much for having me here. Last time when I attended a meeting at WMC, I made a lot of new friends and today as well. It's good to meet some members again after a long time. I'm sure I will do again
more meetings and time for me, and I also become a mentor. So, so my efforts paid off.
If time permits, that's the right.
That is up to you guys now. Disclosure is, it's a pleasure to attend your. Learning a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairman sir, the voting ballots are open right now. Chairman sir.
Good evening, everyone. One more time. It was really amazing how you people speak, how you people represent, and very friendly environment here. I always remember the first day of my year today. So I look forward every meeting here to learn something better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It will be a crime if I won't mention anything about Nathan. Nathan turned out to be a lifesaver for Niti, but then the way you, I already know you are a wonderful speaker. I've seen you from Gavels, but then thank you so much for leading the whole show. It was wonderful listening to you as a team Modi. Thank you so much, Nathan. With that, we have the awards to be awarded. Yes. Can I request Area 14 Director Owen to do now this?
Yeah, it's all ready.
Before this, we have best speaker. They're full of surprises, but then best speaker award, there is no surprise in that title because we all know who is the winner. Right? No? The best speaker for today is Toastmaster Lord's Career.
Come a little forward. Yeah, come here forward. Yeah, the light is falling.
Congratulations, Roy, for that wonderful speech. Again, I think the award session is the least surprise element in it. Best TMOD TTM award. Any guesses over there?
Father is giving son.
Not nepotism. No, you speak come here.
Where is president?
President is
There is not function. Okay. Thank you. Everybody have to return, I think, so it's around I saw that when he is having a
Best evaluator. Do we have a Don there or the humor king there? Humor king? Yeah, then let's give a fresh show then up and come.
In the right ribbon.
Thank you. Best timer or counter in the grammarian. We have Toastmaster Nidhi as timer.
That's what I'm trying to go to back.
Nidhi takes the prize and she gives to her friend. we have the best table topic speaker, Toastmaster Dakshit.
This is the right rhythm. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So with that, we conclude, we come to an end of the jackpot. It was such a learning experience, as I told you, every one of us. Our next meeting will be falling on 4th of October. And until we meet then, yeah, I looked at the back because I didn't do it when I was with it.
Yeah.
So meeting number 491 is adjourned.
We used to leave it at home, so that's. See, now we wanted to leave. It's just a try. Why not?